Hey, g'day guys. How you going? It's Justin Allen here, my Good Advice channel. Here to give you good advice for a better future. Right, what I'm talking about today is what to expect for driving for Uber. I've done 9,000 trips now, so I've had a bit of experience. It's been about 20 months on the road working 7 days. I've only had a few days off when I've had my car repaired. So I've picked up, you can work it out, 9,000 plus all the people that have had my car. It'd be easily over 15,000 people I've picked up. So I've got a good experience in what to expect for new people when you drive for Uber. There's a lot of people that are thinking of driving for Uber, but then they think, oh, I've got to pick up people, and they have that fear of what dramas they're going to be getting themselves into. So I'm just giving them an idea what to expect. Well, you have a lot of people leave stuff in your car, cigarettes, loose change, money, their keys, a lot of wallet, you name it. A lot of people can leave stuff in the car. I've even had a person the other week, they've left a battery bank to charge up the battery, and yesterday I even had a customer, he picked him up, drove him around the corner, and he forgot his phone, and I had to drive him back home to get his phone. He left at his friend's place. So there's other things to expect. Like, you can get some good experiences. I had a customer yesterday, he was been drinking, a young guy, and he was nice enough to say, like, since we went back to get his phone and he's having a bad day, he said, look, I'll shout you Macca's, whatever you want. And I just got an egg and bacon muffin, and it was a good sized fare as well, so I was happy, really appreciated it. And there's other things you can expect. Like, I've had, it's not all good. You don't always have good trips with Uber. You like it. The system's in their favour, where you got to be willing to tolerate a bit. It's just a part of the job, but that they expect, that the job's in their favour. They're paying for the ride, so if they want you to do this, want you to do that, you just got to do it. And I've had people like, can I charge my phone? And then you got to pull out the Apple USB cord and then plug it in and help them plug it in for them and stuff. So that's another thing. Like, a lot of people expect it now to charge their phone. A lot of people expect you, a lot of them like to Bluetooth their phone and listen to music, and some people are drinking and they like to play it up a bit too loud. Another thing to expect, like, a lot of people, some people don't want to listen to music, or they're on their phone or making a phone call, they tell you to turn it off, or some people just don't like it having the music on, or they can ask you to change the station. There's a lot of things to expect with driving for Uber. Like, there's bad experiences. Like, I've had a lot of people being sick, so you got to expect eventually someone to be sick in your car, and then you got to put up with the smell for a couple of weeks, and you got to just keep cleaning it and put bicarb soda on, and it's a bit of a headache to work in your car like that, and you can lose your rating as well. People get in your car and they have to smell that. I've had to pull over many times and people have been sick. One person even opened up the door back in the left, and he was sick while I was driving, and he had the door open. A lot of things. I've had a lot of people being sick. It's very common. I have sick bags, but they don't always work if they don't give you notice. I keep a sick bag behind the seat. I carry plenty of them on board. One night I've even had 3 of them being used in one night. I prefer, they cost me $1, but I prefer to pay for that out of my expense than having to smell it. Once you've been through it, you never want to, it really puts you off driving in your car when it smells terrible. There's other things to expect. I've had some bad experiences. I've had people sit in the shotgun seat, and then when they've got up out of the car and I think they've shat their pants. It really smelled. I've had a lot, there's a lot of things to expect with this job. That I had on the other night, on Saturday night, I had a girl. She'd been drinking all day, and she just got in my car, and she had a glass, and she told me it was full of Sambuca, and she spilt it all over. When she got in the car, she spilled it all through the shotgun door on the left. It all fell all over the door and all down the door, and it stunk. She even said it was very strong alcohol. She's got like 38% Sambuca. She was very drunk too. So you have to put up with people just doing that. I even had a lady get in my car before with a wine glass. She said, "Is it alright if I can get in?" And I was pretty easy going. I said, "Yeah, no worries." There's a lot to expect with this job. I tell you, you do get some good people and some bad people. I've even had a customer. I was dropping him off his house, and he goes, "Oh, you want to come into my garage and smoke a doobie?" I don't touch that stuff, and I'm against that. It's no good for you. It ruins your life. You can expect to see a lot of stuff with this job. You've got to put up with all types of people, young and old. Sometimes you feel a part of the family when you pick up a whole family and their kids and husband and wife, and driving them to wherever they're going home most of the time. There's a lot to expect with this job. You pick up all types of people. Everything you can imagine, young, old, rich, poor. It's people having a good day, people having a bad day. I've picked up people before that are really having a bad day, and you don't want to. You just got to watch what you say when you get those people. They're just ready to snap. So, and I've also picked up a lot of people. You can expect to pick up some people that you really get along with as well. There's a lot you can expect driving forever. You got to expect that your car gets damaged. I've been to the airport, so if you go to the airport a lot, expect someone eventually to damage your bumper bar with the luggage. Just a matter of time. And you can expect people getting in your car. Well, especially females with long nails, they always scratch around the door handles. I've even had people get in the car and put a dent in the car before trying to get in the car, and they've had luggage, and you can expect to have your glove box. A lot of people get in with backpacks and luggage, and they always scratch the glove box. You can expect that, and you can expect if you do a job down the beach and they've just come from the beach. I tell you that every time. A couple of weeks ago, a girl got in, and there was sand everywhere in my car, all over the seat, all over the floor. She didn't even have her shoes on. She was carrying her shoes, and then when you look, once you've dropped them off, you look at the mess, and it's like heaps of sand everywhere. And that it's not just a little bit, heaps. You can expect also when you're driving in the rain, you can expect people to get into your car and make it all dirty. And you got to expect to also every day before you start driving, you got to expect that your car needs a quick clean before you go. What I do is, depending on the weather report, you check if it's going to rain. Obviously you don't really just clean the inside, but I always give my car a clean before I start driving for Uber. So most people normally would just jump in the car and take off, but not with Uber. You got to expect to have a standard where you want your car to be reasonably clean. I always give the interior clean, and the exterior I'd clean the windows. But if the car's really filthy, I'm going to be driving all day, I'll give it a full clean inside and out. And you got to make sure your windows are clean. That's the first thing you notice in the interior. You don't have to clean it spotless, but you can always just use a dust brush pan and brush, just give it a quick clean. You will expect to, put in a lot more hours clean your car than what you normally would. Most people only clean their car once a week, but with Uber I can sometimes clean it for 4 or 5 hours a week. And another thing to expect is like the smell of the car too. Expect to not get a good rating, or customers can be not be nasty if the car smells or anything. So I've had one customer, I was just on my way to the gym and have a shower, and she was a bit nasty because I smelled a BO a bit, because I just washed my car and did an oil change on my car, and then I was heading to the gym and I set it to the gym. So you got to expect that. She said, I'm not going to give you 5 stars because you smell a BO. And I just put some deodorant on. That's all I could do, and I was on my way to the gym to have a shower. You got to expect some people can get offended very easily too on a lot of things, simply things like that. But they don't realise how much does an Uber driver put up with. She was only driving for 5 minutes down the road. I've had to put up with people with their smells all the time, for hours and hours. People being sick and people with food, and expect to always get a lot of people that come into your car that stink of cigarette breath. Most of the time they're waiting on the side of the road for you to come, and then they got a cigarette and they get in the car and their breath stinks. You can also expect a lot of people, once they've had a lot to drink, you can definitely smell it on their breath. And you can expect a lot of people, I don't know why, but I always get people and they've just gotten their takeaway food from wherever, and then they're jumping in the car. You think they'd eat the food and then order the Uber, but most people, I don't know, they don't think of that, and they just do what they want, I suppose, and then they make a mess in the car. Expect if people eat in your car, that most of them, I'd say 80% of them make a mess. Only 20% don't make a mess. It's very common to be taken to McDonald's, and I always get people like last night I got a guy, he wanted to stop at the ATM. Expect to do stop-offs like that, and people stop and get milk sometimes and smokes. Expect to be taken to the shops a lot. I've had to wait for people a lot too, going into shops. Expect that, one guy went into a supermarket, like a shopping centre, and I was waiting at least 8 minutes for him. Expect that to happen. Yeah, and there's a lot to expect with this job when you pick up a lot of people. I have had some people had girlfriend problems, and the other week last weekend I had a relationship. They were fighting in the car and they were hitting each other, and she was saying, the relationship's over, I don't want to be with you anymore, and arguing in the car. And there's a lot of stuff you got to put up with this job. And I've even had one customer, I picked him up, and he said he had a fight with his girlfriend, and she threw the keys off the balcony and he couldn't find them, so he couldn't drive his car, he couldn't get into the house. He just eventually gave up and caught an Uber to another place. There's a lot you got to put up with this job, I tell you. A lot of people do like to, see how far you can go. Some Uber drivers, I'd have to say, easy going, like me, pretty easy going, but some are pretty strict. But you got to expect that Uber's not always busy too. Sometimes I've waited an hour for a trip. I've gone to the airport and waited an hour and a half for a trip. Yeah, yesterday I went there and on the 27th of December, and I could not believe how many cars were there. So I was like, I hadn't been there so many times, I know what a standard amount of cars are there, and there was way more. There was at least 150 cars there. So I was like, nah, I'm out of there. I knew the wait would be at least an hour and a half, so you expect to go to the airport sometimes and realise it's a waste of time unless you want to waste 2 hours for one ride, and most likely only be 20 k's. There's a lot to expect with this job, I tell you. You got to put up. It's like you got to put up with a lot of stuff. I've had some good customers give me tips, and you get, like, sometimes it's good to pick their brain and see what they know, because you might learn something off it. Ask them what job they do for a living, and you can learn a little bit off them. And you got to expect also that a lot of customers, I tell you, say the same thing. What other job do you do? This is your main job. They always repeating themselves, always, saying the similar questions that other people have asked you 1,000 times. You sort of get over it after a while. And what do you do outside this and that? Are you from Australia? Are you from, you always get the same questions. Expect that a lot. You can expect a lot, like you do learn a lot with this job. Like, I'd have to say, you do learn how to talk to people a lot more, not to be so shy. It's not for the shy person. I'd have to say you do, grow from this job, speaking to many people. It has made me not so shy, and I'd have to say that's a really great thing. I'll wrap it up as that. Alright, have a good day, guys. Bye.